Gang, is Hexy. All right. We're still after GOSS. And here's what I want to do. So I did an overrun during exploitation. And what I want to do is I want to walk through it. This is not a tutorial. You all know I'm learning the game. So what I want to do is I want to go through the steps that I did. And some of you experts out there, if I got a boo-boo in this, help me get it straight so I can execute these things properly. I'm hoping I got at least 80% of this right. So, and I'll walk through exactly what I did. I even wrote out everything over here as far as numbers to help me out. So what I'm going to do is this blue exploitation marker is these two units right here. I guess that's a hybrid with tanks and mechanized infantry, and then some some armored engineers. All right. So just assume that they're under that marker. The target is this infantry unit here. I haven't applied any damage to it yet after the results to anybody yet. We'll do that after the fact. So these two units as an exploitation started back here. All right. And the exploitation rules say that only one unit can conduct an overrun. And that means, and you can use the special stacking. So I've got the armored engineers with CCA3 here. So that moved as one unit. And what I did was I went, since it's clear terrain and and the ground conditions are normal, or what's it called? Normal ground conditions. So I just moved through the clear. And you can do these things as mech road or non-mech road, all right? So what I did was I just went 1, 2, 3, and when I got here to this hex in the clear terrain, all right, I'm in his observation range. So it says that there are conditions where you can drop a fire support mission on an exploitation moving unit, and there's the conditions. They have to be observed, not in MCT. I think there's like 3 conditions. But anyhow, he got here. He could observe him. He's not in a vantage point. He's just sitting in a village in the clear terrain. And this artillery unit back here, he was not ammo depleted. So he fired a mission at him. This guy did the observation. So I went to my chart over here, or my fire support, and I ended up with a 4 for the strength, all right? And then he rolled a D10. He got a 5, so that gave him 9 to start with. And the only modifier was a -2 for being mixed AFV. So the result was a 7. Of course, 7 or less on the fire support table is nothing. All right, no result. So because of that, he then had to roll for his ammo depletion. This is where I'm not sure if I got that right. I think you have to do that after every fire mission. So I rolled for ammo depletion. The ADV for this unit, because of who they're assigned to, was 5. He rolled a 6. So that unit went ammo depleted. All right. Y'all can straighten me out on that one if that's not right, but I'm more concerned about the exploit right now. All right, so the unit continued to move up into here. There's no more artillery that's in range, and I don't have any air available for it. All right, so there's no more artillery in range, so he didn't get bombarded again, or he didn't get fire support mission on him again. So then I got into doing the overrun. All right, so now what I want to do is so we notice this is motorized infantry. He's reduced 1 step, so he's down to 2 from the 116th Panzer. He's got a 6 defense, and he's got 0 anti-tank. All right. These 2 units here, they're mechanized. They've got 8 and 1. They've got 9 strength points. Okay. They've got a 4 for armor, which this would be the lead unit, would be this one here, a 4 for armor. And his proficiency is 8, which would be the one that being used. And the German unit over here's proficiency was 7. So let's go over here to where I wrote all this out, doing the overrun. So I went through my chart, and like I said, again, if I miss it here, you got to get me something, because I got the standoff armor thing. It's funny because I was a cavalry scout, so I was in armor units in the military, and I understand what standoff armor is, but for some reason I'm not quite getting it yet in this game. So if somebody wants to give me a good explanation, that'll be awesome. All right, but here's how I did the configuration. So it was 9 to 6. Strength points, all right, and which gives you a 3 to 2 off the top. All right. I think that's right. 3-2. And he's in a village, so he's going to be on line 2 on the combat chart. All right. I did the combat strength modifiers. I came up with nothing for either side. All right. The shifts, nothing for the attacker, but I got 1 to the left for the defender because the units attacking were in exploitation mode. All right. The proficiency differential was 8-7, so they're going to get a +5 on the die roll. The attacker will. Regimental integrity had nothing. Nobody had any adjacent or other regiment type units next to them, so there's no regimental integrity bonus. And then armor to AT. So the defending unit had a 0 AT rating, which means the armor unit will get his full thing minus the terrain of the defender. So he starts off with 4. He starts off with 0, but because of the terrain of a village, he gets a -1. So it takes that armor value down to 3, which is 10 DRMs per bonus point. So that would have been 3 times 10. He's going to get a +30. So now he's getting +35 to his die roll. All right. So there's all my modifiers. If I got that armor wrong, I read the daylights out of this, so I hope I got that right. All right. So I rolled the dice. The attacker, the Americans, rolled an 87, and the Germans rolled a 58. So I did my +35s, and it came out to like 122 for the Americans. So on the chart, they caused a 2 discretionary, 2 mandatory to the German unit. And the German unit rolled a 58 +35. What was that, 93? He actually got a mandatory proficiency check. So those are the numbers. It really wasn't that hard. It's just, I think, going through the charts to go through your modifiers, and whether or not I missed anything or not, I'm not sure. But going through the charts is, that's the only tedious part of it. But I imagine you probably just sort of adapt to that after a while and things start to come natural. So, like I said, I ended up with a 2-2 discretionary mandatory on the Germans. That's actually the effect the attacker applied to the Germans. And then a mandatory proficiency check for the Americans. I haven't executed them yet because there's one more rule. You determine your result, but before you apply the result, it says in the rules that the attacking player must declare if he will convert all discretionary hits to step losses. If he chooses not to convert all discretionary hits, the overrun is unsuccessful. If the attacker converts all discretionary hits to step losses, the players compare the attacker's total hits, mandatory and discretionary, to the defender's total hits. If the attacker's total is less than the defender's, the overrun is successful. All right. So obviously we're going to convert because we want to overrun that unit and drive him out of there. And so the total hits was 4-0. All right. And then a unit conducting so for a successful overrun, players resolve the combat results. The attacker must inflict all hits as mandatory hits or step losses. Wow. Yeah, mandatory hits as step losses. So he's going to lose. He would lose 2 steps up here if following that procedure. So he's got 3 steps in these units right here. All right. The defender resolves hits. I'm sorry, this guy here. He's going to end up losing. The defender resolves hits using the standard. Okay, so I have to go through the procedures of this guy. So he'll probably take hits and he'll have to retreat. We'll have to roll some dice on that. But I'm going to do that after the fact. The advance after combat does not occur. Instead, a unit that successfully overruns a hex may continue moving and overrunning if it has movement points remaining. Okay. So, other than doing the successful or unsuccessful part of it, I'm more curious about, did I get the steps right? I'm going to put the camera back over here on this here, so I think y'all can read it. You can freeze it there if you want. Somebody wants to explain the use of applying standoff armor. I know across streams or rivers without bridges or something here, the armor can't do nothing but stand off if they're on the other side. But if somebody freeze that, take a look at it, and tell me if I missed something there. All right, so that's my first run at an exploitation with an overrun. Help me out here. Did I do it right? If I didn't do it right, tell me what to change. Just do me one favor. Don't speculate if you're not sure if I did it wrong, because it'll just confuse me. But if you can put it in a form of a question so that I can look it up or ask somebody and get it resolved, that'd be awesome. All right, guys, this is Hexy. Hope this helps for me, and maybe it helps somebody else. I don't know. All right, let's get this up so somebody can give me some answers. All right, talk to y'all soon.